There is so much out there, right? Like now, and we've kind of deconstructed a lot of it in just terms of what's actually fact and what's on social media and misconceived. So from what time to eat, for example, to how to cook food, to just what to eat, can you take us through a day of healthy eating?
Again, sort of going back to
eating right.
Again, there's a million ways of doing this, but maybe let me walk you through how I might think about it, right?
Okay.
I don't want people to think it's universal advice, but broadly principles that you can still apply for yourself, right? One is that I do intermittent fasting, so I'm not saying it's going to work for everyone, but if it works for you, you could try it again. Look and see how it, again, these works differently for men and women. I do 16-hour intermittent fasting, so I don't eat breakfast, right? So the other interesting thing I do is that, weird thing again, not for everyone, I drink 4 cups of coffee a day. A lot of misinformation about the fact that it's bad for you and so on. In fact, the only beverage for which there is 30-year data, multiple studies that show that this is the most healthy beverage you can drink in terms of heart health and overall liver health and everything else is black coffee. There's no such evidence for tea, no such evidence for green tea, no such evidence for all the other random things that people drink like turmeric water and all of that. But there is solid evidence for black coffee. It is the richest source of antioxidants you can drink. Now, the best part of coffee is all the stuff other than the caffeine. But you drink it because the caffeine stimulates you and so on. For some people, it can affect your sleep, right? So that's why I think a lot of, for example, Italians would typically drink their last cup of coffee by afternoon so that, they don't drink coffee sort of late at night. If you drink, it does take 5 to 6 hours for caffeine to get metabolized or removed from your brain. So for some people, you might not want to do that like later in the day, right? So you want to drink your coffee, whatever it is before, right? But stunningly enough, the studies actually show up to 4 cups of coffee a day is where they found the maximum benefits, right? Now, this is a very weird thing. So again, as I said, if you don't want to drink it, don't drink it. But this is the only thing for which there's evidence. Again, as I said, each individual is unique. The other thing is obviously that I try and eat the protein and the salad first. This is something, again, that I've learned from a lot of the recent nutritional advances that say that fiber and protein are more satiety signaling. They signal satiety sooner, right? You feel stuffed. And that's a good thing because you don't want to eat too much, right? And eating the fiber up front is also going to slow down the rush of glucose into your blood. Because the fiber, it just gets completely stuck in your small intestine. It forms a bit of a mesh. And now, then you eat your maida or rice or whatever it is. It's going to take a lot more time. And you get a more gradual spike, which you can, by the way, test by putting a continuous glucose monitor, right? So if you eat your fiber and protein first, rather than sometimes the Indian thali, we tend to go for the rice or the chapati first. So you actually want to flip it and eat the
fiber first.
Worst case, actually even good to eat the dal first, right? Again, that's resistant starch. It's actually much better, right? So change the sequence of how you eat. Again, these are very sustainable because you don't have to change what you're eating. You're just changing the order, right? And then that's an easy hack to do. And the only other thing I will say is reasonably universal is try and eat at least 4 hours before you sleep. Because you do want your insulin levels to come back to your baseline because that improves the quality of your sleep. That again is reasonably well proven and so on. So everything else, what to eat, how to cook, all of that has so many variations. None of that actually matters as much as maybe some of these broader practices.
Okay.